Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money, so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get the money so you're learning and earning. Yet, many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage, and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to. Come on, increase the brightness of this stuff. Subscribe, take advantage, and share with your friends so that they can learn. And many people are not taking up that opportunity because this channel is not known. To help this channel to be known, subscribe, take advantage, and share with your friends so that they can learn and earn. Imagine I have money to share and no one to take it. That's what's happening in this channel. I have knowledge and money I'm sharing for you to have the knowledge to multiply money and the opportunity to get. Are we live? You're welcome to today's live. My name is My Ace China. And if you're new on this channel, you might need to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell if you love value, and then share this live stream with your friends. And we're very sorry for starting late. We had some interesting power issues. I live in an estate that is supposed to have 24 hours power, but sometimes they are not able to keep to those promises. And that inspires me for our lesser highlands, because not only are we going to have 24 hours power in our lesser highlands, but it's going to be cheaper than the national grid. Each time I see the power problem in Nigeria and Africa, I get excited because I'm going to make a lot of money out of it. So we are sorry for starting behind schedule, and we are sorry that our late beginning means that we are going to rush this. But good news is that after the live stream, usually we have the recap, where if you are interested in this topic, you can really go deep into it. Today's topic is the art of starting over. And then in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to go through that, the art of starting over, why it's never too late to reinvent yourself. And then starting from this week, anybody that chose the topic for the day, I'll credit them during the presentation. I found out that most people choose the topic for the day, but when we start the presentation, we'll forget to credit them. So this topic was chosen by OC Grace last week, and she has just won herself 30,000 naira. So let's get right into it. Starting over is simply going on after a failure. Going on after a failure. And then success and failure are birds of the same feathers and the flip sides of the same coin. And Henry Ford defines success as an opportunity to start again more intelligently. So starting over intelligently is success. While Winston Churchill called success the going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So starting over again and again and again without loss of enthusiasm is called success. Many people miss their destiny for lack of starting over. They fail, they recoil and don't start over, and they miss their destiny. And you must fail in life, so you must start over in life. And to start over, you must understand life, that life is a journey. Life is not a destination, life is a journey. And to live the best of life, you have to see the journey as the destination. When you are going to Lagos, your whole mind is on Lagos, not the way to Lagos. But in life, for you to enjoy life, you have to enjoy the whole way more than the destination. You must see the road to Lagos as Lagos. And because life is a journey, there is the beginning of the journey, the middle of the journey, and the end of the journey. So that leaves us with people that succeed early in life, people that succeed mid-life, and those that succeed later in life. Those that succeed early in life are called early bloomers. Example, Mark Zuckerberg became a millionaire at the age of 22. My mentor, Grant Cardone, became a millionaire at the age of 30. But mid-bloomers like Dangote became a millionaire at the age of 50. The Dangote we are celebrating today. Henry Ford, one of the biggest billionaires of the 20th century, became a millionaire at the age of 39. So they are mid-bloomers. But I love these beautiful late bloomers. Colonel Sanders of KFC became a millionaire in his 70s. And my man, Stan Lee, of the Marvel Studios, those of you that love Marvel, superheroes, Spider-Man, all the superheroes, Avengers, all of them. Stan Lee is the Marvel CEO, and he became a millionaire in his 60s. And I called him the happiest man alive before me. He died last year, so I'm now the happiest man alive. Stan Lee, I love him so much because he features in his Marvel movies as an extra, usually very funny, brief cameo extra, and he's usually very funny. So all these stages compensate. So there's no perfect age, only perfect experience. So don't pressure yourself. What does it mean? It means that somebody like Mark Zuckerberg that became a billionaire or millionaire at 22 is going to miss a lot of things that young people do because he can't do them as a millionaire. He probably moves with a bodyguard in his early 20s. He can't follow me to go and eat granite in slaughter market. If we were playing match in Okuru Field, he won't follow me to go and watch it because he's a millionaire. So he'll miss the joy of his youth because he has already made it too early. So, and if you check the history of early celebrity stars, most times that early part of their life they miss affect them later in life. So he can't have a normal girlfriend because everybody will be after his money and he'll be thinking everybody is after his money. So these things compensate. If you blow too early, you might not know the joy of your youthfulness. But for me, in all this, whether you're an early bloomer, a late bloomer, or a mid bloomer, the most experience is how much experience you make from your success. And the ultimate experience is fulfillment. Abraham Lincoln was one popular, legendary US president that kept on failing up until he became the president. He failed as a counselor. He went for House of Rep. He failed as House of Rep. He went for House of Assembly. He failed as House of Assembly, went for House of Rep. He failed, went for Senate. He failed, went for president. He eventually won. And he said something that at the end, it's not how many years you succeeded that count, but how many success in your years. It's not how many years in your life that count, but how much life in your years. So whether you make it late, mid, or early, is how much fulfillment you feel. And fulfillment is that thing you feel that you just do, feels like heaven. And fulfillment lies far above average. So if you want to be fulfilled, you must go beyond average. And the only thing in this world greater than achievement is fulfillment. Unfortunately, so many of the people we celebrate in life today have achievement but don't have fulfillment. And there's somebody in the Bible that is the greatest story of fulfillment ever in the history of life that even our churches often celebrate him. And that is Simeon. Simeon was a prophet that God told that he's not going to die until he sees Jesus Christ. And when he had done everything he wants to do in this life, he was busy every day praying in the temple that he wants to see Jesus Christ. And then In Luke chapter 2, verse 25 to 32, Mary came with Jesus Christ to dedicate him, and the Holy Spirit led Simeon to sing Jesus Christ. And when he saw Jesus Christ, he blessed him. And then he made a prayer that is the ultimate prayer of fulfillment, that only very rare people can make this prayer. He said, Lord, now your servant can go in peace, because according to your word, my eyes have seen the salvation of the world. Do you know what it means for you to pray that you can now die in peace? So many people are afraid of death because of unfulfilled dreams. It takes the ultimate fulfillment for you to have done everything you came to do in life and know it so much that you can now say, your servant can now die in peace. I have a dream that when I get to 90, I would have achieved everything that God sent me to this world to do. And the person that will suffer the most will be my wife. Because after 90, every morning I wake up, I'll wake her up and say, baby? She'll say yes. I'll say, am I dead? She'll say, no, you are still alive. I'll say, what of you? She'll say, ah. So that's how much fulfillment can bring. And many people, very many, 99.999% of people never get there. And that's why the richest place on earth is the place where all the books unwritten are, the place where all the dreams unfulfilled are, the place where all the inventions uninvented are, the place where all the actions untaken are, the place where all the love unexpressed are, the place where so many treasures are buried because people fail to fulfill their life, and that is the cemetery. But in all these early bloomers, mid bloomers, and late bloomers, my preference is the late blooming. I love late success because I love late mega success when you have been failing and finally succeed for 7 reasons. Why? Number 1, the longer you fail before you succeed, the more lessons you pick up along from failure, because failure teaches everything, success teaches nothing. Number 2, your full experience of youth and truth. The longer it takes you to succeed by failing, you'll be able to express your youth, where you can go and play with boxers under the rain and play football and not care because nobody sent you. And the truth, you really know those that really love you. Like me, I have a list of people that I know that really genuinely love me when I had nothing. And then number 3, you have more gratitude in life because you have suffered so much. When you finally make it, you'll be grateful for your success. Number 4, more calmness and temperedness, because you have seen everything. You won't be carried away by luxury. Number 5, more insults to revenge. Remember what Frank Sinatra said. Frank Sinatra said the best form of revenge is massive success. So more people would have ridiculed you, mocked you, and insulted you for a longer time than when you succeed. You have more things to revenge. For instance, a lot of people have laughed at me that I am more of mouth, not action. So the estates we are building, even the giveaway we are doing on YouTube, the generosity is a way to pepper them and show them that we go, they do the good, whether they like it or not. So number 6, more indebtedness to repay, just like number 3, where you are more grateful for your success. Number 6 is that more people would have done so many things for you that you are indebted to them. If you succeed early, waiting person won't give rich man now. But when you are going through life as a nobody, there will be more people that have shown you goodwill that you'll be indebted to and you are committed to reward. And finally, number 7, less time to waste wealth. When you succeed late, there's no time for you to start going to do dorime. You want to build a legacy and an impact with that wealth, and you won't have to waste it. But today is just to let you know that you can start over at any age, and it's never too late for you to start over. In fact, the later, the better. So don't tell yourself it's too late and everybody has made it. Let me tell you a story. When I was in my mid-20s, I wanted to succeed so much that the success wasn't coming. I was failing. I was in oil business. I was failing. When I resigned from medical practice, I was failing in oil business. And I told my friend that God should make us succeed fast. If not, all the rich men will buy all the nice sites of land, like the lands that are in the prime positions. That when we make money, we don't fit buy land for prime position again. My friend now laughed and said, big men are not training their children. So when we make it late, the big men would have died, and their junkie children will sell us those sites they bought for peanuts. And I then knew that there is never a time good things will come late. But what makes people not start over is one word: mistakes or failure. So today we're going to analyze mistake. What's the mistake? If you go to the dictionary and Google, it will tell you is doing something wrong or doing something you didn't intend. But let's analyze it etymologically. Etymology is the study of words. Mistake is made of two simple words. The compound word of two simple words: miss and take. It means that you miss the target, you take the lesson. So it means for everything you miss, you must take a lesson. So instead of mourning over your mistake, you should be moving over your mistakes, because mistakes are great assets, because you miss it and you take the golden lessons. When you miss it and you still miss the lesson, mistakes are tragedies. So the only mistake that is a true mistake is the mistake you didn't learn anything from. It's called a miss or misgive. You missed it and you missed the lesson. When you miss it, you are supposed to take the lesson. That's why it's a mistake. And life is full of mistakes, because mistake is how we learn in life. If you watch a child growing, a child doesn't stand up and start walking. A child will stand and fall, stand and fall, stand and fall. Before he stand, he would have stood more than 7 times. And when he starts standing and wants to walk, you walk and fall, walk and fall, walk and fall until he can walk. So the way to hit your target in life is by missing your target and trying it again. Nobody is starting off shooting, just gets the target. You keep miss shooting until you finally start getting it. So your mistake is either your asset or your liability. Is your asset when you learn from it. Is a liability when you don't learn from it. So for successful people, our mistakes are our assets. Mistakes are a successful man's biggest asset. Show me a very successful man like my ace, and I'll show you a man that has previously experimented a lot and made a lot of mistakes and learned from them. Successful people make more mistakes and start over more than unsuccessful people. That's why successful people fail faster. Successful people make more mistakes than failures, but the difference is that they hardly repeat the same mistakes, because they learn and grow from it immediately. So the difference between successful people and failures sometimes is not mistakes. It's not the number of mistakes, but the repetition of mistakes. Why successful people are not repeating mistakes and doing more new mistakes to learn? Failures are repeating the same mistake. And if you repeat the same mistake more than 3 times, you're a confirmed failure. Because if you mistake it once, maybe it's a mistake. You mistake it twice, maybe you were not having awareness to learn from the first one, so you learn from the second one. But if you make a mistake 3 times, it means that you lack willingness to take correction. Then starting over can be fun. This is the part I love most, because if you see children trying to learn, I don't see a child standing up and falling and crying anyhow. In fact, it's when you, the adult, look at the child and do like this, the child will start crying. Normally, if the child falls and you don't look at him, he will be laughing and stand up and try again. So most adults miss the fun of failure because they think it's not normal. So they resent it and don't try much nor learn much. Kids have fun failing and learning and doing it better again and again because it's normal. Failure is normally, starting over is normally, failing and starting over is very normal. That's the way life works. So For every failure and mistake, you have two choices. Failures and mistakes or tragedies are called adversity. So it's one stimulus, but you have two responses or two choices of responses. Either you are growing through it or you are groaning through it. Groaning means complaining. So for you to now grow through your mistakes, grow through your failures, start over better, you need to learn more lessons about life. And what are the more lessons? Life rewards capacity. Capacity is the size with which you fetch life. Life is like a river, it's like the sea. Success is like the sea. Your capacity is like teaspoon, teacup, plate, bucket, or tanker. So while those of you that lack capacity will come with a teaspoon to the ocean of life to fetch the ocean of success, people like me that have great capacity were coming to the ocean with a tanker. So life rewards your capacity. The more adversity you endure, the more capacity you procure. So those of you that don't know that capacity comes from adversity, when you are going through adversity, you are groaning and complaining. Those of us that know that capacity comes through adversity, when we are going through adversity, we are growing and rejoicing because we are knowing that more money. We are shouting 1-1B. Hey, this problem will bring us 1-1B. So life rewards only those that deserve it. Life does not reward those that need reward. The one law of life does not say if you need, you will harvest. No, the one law of life says if you sow, you will reap. And it is not when you sow, you go and sleep and come and reap. When you sow, the weeds are going to come up in your farm to try and consume your crops. You have to fight the weeds. The pests are going to come to try and eat up your crops. You are going to fight the pests. Thieves are going to come to steal your crops. You are going to fight them. All that put together is called adversity or difficulty. So adversity or difficulty is not a curse. It is a blessing that separates those that deserve a harvest from those that don't deserve the harvest. So a farmer doesn't go to his farm and say, weed is growing in my farm, I don't die. What a curse. Weed. Do you know I saw one grass in my farm, but I planted corn. Why am I seeing grass? No. A farmer goes to the farm and weeds away all the useless attack and useless adversities and learns better farming from those adversities. Another lesson of life is life will expand or contract to your capacity. If you have a large capacity, life will be large for you. If you have a small capacity, life will be small for you. And I always remember this one of my mentor's favorite quote, and it's becoming my favorite quote. His name is Richard Branson, but the person that made the quote is Ananias In. Say life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Big courage, big life. Small courage, small life. And the same thing I say for beliefs. Belief is the major index of life. Your life will expand and contract according to the measure of your belief. If you believe you cannot, life will cannot you. If you believe you can, life will can. If you believe life is beautiful, life will be beautiful. If you believe life is unfair, life will be unfair for you. Confucius puts it this way. He says, he that says he can and he that says he cannot are both usually right. So he that believes in life and he that believes in life not being are both correct. And then the greatest expansion is responsibility. Each time you take responsibility, you expand and grow. Each time you complain or don't take responsibility, you contract and grow small. So today you can just call starting over taking responsibility. Because when you start over, you are taking responsibility to learn from the adversities and to apply the lessons learned from the adversity. And life is all about growth. And we only grow in life through adversity. When you plant a seed in the soil is darkness. When your life feels like nothing is working, you might not be dead, you might be planted. And under the ground, the seed feels the weight of the earth on it. Sometimes when you feel the weight of the world, you might have just been planted. Sometimes when nothing is working, everywhere is dark and pressure is pressing you, you might be the seed inside the earth. And then for the seed to sprout, it needs to break the resistance of the earth and come out. So sometimes when the odds are up against you, you need to grow up. The seed doesn't move up the soil. There's no seed you plant that will move up. The seed will germinate and begin to grow up. It's only your growth that can go through the adversities. And the growing of the shoot of a plant is so strong that if you put a heavy rock on top of where you planted a seed, the shoot of the plant will find a way around the rock and still come out for the people to see. So growth is the only thing that can overcome the adversity of the darkness and resistance of the earth. And that's why my favorite quote, for those of you that are not new here, is that I don't go through adversity. I grow through adversity, and nothing excites me like growth. But growth is a responsibility and a choice that my mentor Jim Rohn said. Every life form grows to their maximum except human beings. How tall a tree will grow is how tall it possibly can. But human beings, on the other hand, have been given the dignity and the responsibility of choice. You choose to be all, or you can choose to be less. You choose how you want to grow, and you choose whether not to grow. So, choose today to start over, not for the sake of starting over, but for the state of growth. And life is a measure of how many failures your life or your dream is worth. If you have a big dream, it might be worth one failure. If you have a bigger dream, it might be worth 1,000 failures. So the greatest success mantra in life is for you to dream big. How many, if I tell you what I went through for Lesser Highlands, you'll be wondering why I didn't give up. It's because the dream was worth so many of my failures. And the minimum requirement for your dream, for it to be big enough, is that it must be worth 1,000 failures. If your dream is not big enough to be worth your 1,000 failures to get it, then that dream is too small. So ask yourself, how many failures is your dream worth? And the greatest failure on earth in the history of recorded mankind is also the greatest inventor of the recorded history of mankind. And that greatest inventor, he's also one of the most successful inventors of the history of recorded mankind, because he has made more money from one single invention, the light bulb, than any other single invention of any other person. And you should always remember Thomas Edison. He's the greatest failure on earth because he failed 9,999,000 times before he could get the light bulb on the 10,000th experiment. So when he was asked how it feels to fail so much, he said, I didn't fail. I only found out 9,999,000 other ways of not making the light bulb. So finally, if your dream is not worth you're starting over 1,000 times, at least for the right to inspire, you must start over, so that your starting over and your success after failure can inspire people. Because the more you fail, the more you can inspire others when you eventually succeed. The only reason I can tell you to keep trying is because I have failed and I kept on trying. But if I didn't fail and I'm telling you, you'll be saying, see this mayor, he never suffered before. That's why they say more try. If they say don't fail before, you go no. I have failed so much that my story inspires me. I was one of the best academic geniuses of my generation. But the moment I went into business, my first failure was in practice, that I was arrested with handcuffs in the hospital where I was working. And I was one of the most dignified staff in that hospital, the best dressed staff, the neatest staff, the best everything in the hospital. But I left the hospital in handcuffs because I was owing somebody and they arrested me. I failed in that first business while working. I resigned from medical practice and started selling diesel. Somebody came and we started from jerry cans, promoted me to trucks. I started selling trucks that I failed so much at the truck level that I lost 50 million naira. I was owing 18 million naira. Somebody I was owing 1.8 arrested me. I spent 2 months in Owerri State CID and 8 months in Owerri prison, the most congested prison in Nigeria then in 2024. It was when I came out in 2025, in 2015, that I started reading because I met a business club that taught me that learning is earning. That's why I started this channel, for you to learn. And I've gone from failure to failure from that 2015 to where I am today. My last company, I had done so much and earned over 3 houses worth of commissions. And that company failed me. And I not only failed and lost the 3 houses worth 450 million, I was owing 320 million. And I was arrested by EFCC 3 times in the last 4 years because of that failure. Until God now led me to Alessa, and the rest, they say, is history. So, for the right to be able to inspire somebody, sometimes some of the boys in the community where I'm building Alessa would have a problem. Maybe they are detained. I'll laugh. When I tell them 1 or 2 things, they will say, Chairman, it be like I say they don't lock you before. I say, you never stay cell now. If you stay cell 2 days, they learn work. We don't stay cell 2 months. So Thomas Edison, after failing so much, has the right to inspire us that success is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. Perspiration is work and trying again. So if you have never failed, you have failed to have the right to advise anyone. So for the sake of teaching your children and generation to come how to overcome failure and adversity, you must start over. And one of the things I say is that don't correct me with words, correct me with results. So if you have never failed, you can't tell me how not to fail and how to try again. The bridge between your failure and your success is learning. To be unstoppable, you must become an expert of failure, but not a failed expert failure. If you're an expert failure, is somebody that is an expert that has failed. You're a disgrace. But if you're an expert of failure, you have failed so much, you can look at failure in the face and say, I know you, I'll beat you, I have failed before, I'm willing to fail again, and I'll succeed. Then you can talk to us about success, because that's when you are unstoppable. So with all this, you need to go and start failing now. And for you to start over, it's not going to be easy. But you must hold on beyond your human limits, because God's 11th hour, he always comes through at the 11th hour. But his 11th hour will feel like your 25th hour. To be like, 11 times 2 is 22. To be like 11 times 2 plus extra 3. Because God's 11th hour feels like man's 25th hour. So even when you feel it is too much, when you feel you cannot go on, God has not gotten to the 11th hour. And at the 11th hour, your failure will turn to success. If they told Nelson Mandela when he was in prison after 10 years that there was still hope, he'll tell you you are joking. If you told him after 15 years there was still hope, for appetite to, he wasn't going for president of South Africa, he was just fighting for appetite to end in Africa. And by the 15th year in prison, if you told him there was still hope for appetite to end, tell is a lie. By the 20th year, he'll tell you no way. 25 years, he'll tell you, fact, all hope is lost. But after 27 years, the 28th year he was released, not only did apartheid end, but he went on to become the first black president of South America. So if you remember Nelson Mandela, I remember Thomas Edison. You cannot be delayed for more than 27 years, and you cannot fail up to 10,000 times. So if you've started over more than 10,000 times, then I'll tell you to give up. But if you've not started over more than 10,000 times and you've not been delayed by being in prison for 27 years for your dream, then get up and go and start failing up now, because with each failure, rise to the next step with the lesson you learned at that failure, and I'll see you at the top. Thank you very much. So we are going to rush the questions so that we can get time. But if you really want to start over properly, you might need to watch the recap. Are we there? First question. Is the mic on? First question. Hurry up, we don't have time. Okay. Before we ask the question, there's something I wanted to say. Go back to that slide about failure is fun. Because I remember what you told me today and I was laughing. Starting over can be fun. Is the slide after, if you are corrected, before just two choices. Starting over can be fun. Are you there? Okay, so to tell you how much starting over can be fun and how much making mistakes can be fun and how much delayed success can be fun. From last Sunday, our winners from last Sunday, throughout the week, I had the most amazing week. The CFO of Alessa Highlands that we've been working on for the past 2 years, the final payments for the final settlement was done last week, and we have everything we want on Alessa. So for the first time since Alessa started, we are free of all obligations. The CFO was released earlier this year, I think in April, but we had obligations to pay. So I was so committed to clearing that within the week that I didn't have time for us to pay all the winners from last week Sunday throughout all the winnings for the week till today. So my Buncom assistant told me on Friday that, sir, we've not paid Sunday winners. And I started laughing. I said, do you want to pay them? Do you have any money to pay them? He said, no. I said, is there any time I pay them that will be late? He said, no, but it's somehow. I said, life is somehow. I'm going to pay them next week. And when I pay them, I want to hear the person that has never failed in payment or paid late before that will come up. So I didn't take it as anything. I took it as fun because I'm used to always coming back after I start over again. So those of you that know that you come back stronger, when you are failing and people are ridiculing you, you are not going to feel the pain. You even be laughing at them and say, don't worry, when I come back, you go see success. You go believe. So that's the life. I'm not just teaching you what I know. I'm teaching you what I am and what I do every day. So for those of you that have won, we didn't pay you people last week. When we pay you this week, tell us it's late and give us back our money. That's how much fun we have with not meeting up, because we know we'll come back stronger. So first question. Let me get my pen so that I'll know when you get to 10 questions. Yes? First question. Sonia Steve.
How does someone overcome the fear of failure when starting over?
Sonia Steve, the fear of failure is the beginning of failure. Hello? I say each time you fail, you have an option of guilt or grit. Guilt will tell you don't try again, you have failed. Grit, Grit, will tell you try again, and continue, you will succeed. The most basic nursery rhyme we have, I don't know if they've stopped that nursery rhyme, is when once you try and don't succeed, try again. That thing talks try again 3 times. So you're supposed to try something 3 times before you succeed. Thomas Edison let us know that you can even try 10,000 times before you succeed. So Sonia Steve, if you have the fear of failure, and you allow the fear to hold you back, you don't deserve failure. Remember, adversity is a test to see those that deserve it and those that don't deserve it. Those that deserve it have fear and go on despite the fear. That is courage, and that's what Anais In talked about. Those that don't deserve it have the fear and don't go on. So allow fear to spur you to action and not stop you from action. Sonia Steve. So the only way you can overcome is, and please, everybody listen. If you make a mistake and you fail and you didn't learn any lesson, that's the only reason you'll be very afraid. Know why you failed. Write this down, everybody. Know why you failed. Each time you fail, don't just stand up and start trying again. Go back and introspect and retrospect and ask yourself, why did I fail? If you learn the lesson of failure, you even be the one eager, say, hey, don't worry, I don't know what happened. No worry, man, try again. No, I know what happened that last time. No, worry. A man breaks your heart. Ask yourself, why did this guy break my heart? Sometimes it might be your attitude and your character. If you don't see that attitude and character and correct it, another man will break your heart. If you went for an interview and you were not chosen, ask yourself, why did I not pass that interview? If you write an exam and you fail, you ask yourself, why did I fail JAM? Not JAM, they just gave people nonsense score. It's a lie. You must tell yourself the truth. And it's when you face the truth and you pick the lesson that the fear will go. But if you didn't pick the lesson, the fear will persist. And if you miss it and don't take the lesson, it's a miss and a tragedy. But if you miss it and take the lesson, it's a mistake and an asset that you use to start over without fear. Second question. Sammy, huh?
How did you acquire the momentum to keep pushing despite your lapses?
I acquired the momentum to pushing by 2 things. My dream, the size of my dream. Sammy, Abi?
Yes,
Sammy, I beg, if they drop 3 billion for you for Charlie Boy Junction, they're going to say if you fit run from here, reach that Charlie Boy bus stop, you carry the 3 billion. And as you the waka stone come strike your leg, you can't fall, can't wound for your knee. The wound they pain you, Sammy, they pain you. You go there, say, I forget the 3 billion. This wound, my knee don't pain me. You go stand up, begin run because all your mind they 3B. As you dey waka, one leg even break, come out. You go collect crutches, they run with one leg because your mind there for the 3B. Why people don't start over and don't go on is because they don't have a big enough dream. Number 2 is having the dream in front of you. The 3 billion might be at the bus stop, but if you are not seeing it, you might forget it. So I had my dream written down and put in front of me of how I'll be financially free, how I'm going to travel the world, how I'm going to open free clinics for people, how I'm going to open free schools for people, how I'm going to tell my story of how I went to prison, how I suffered, how I sold black market, how I went to EFCC. So much so that when I went to EFCC, I was telling them, please write my mayor of housing against my East China so that people will know that I came here as the mayor of housing. Because when I succeed so much and I'm telling people I was in EFCC detention one time, they'll say it's a lie. Because I was seeing the dream in front of me. They were not detaining a poor guy running to the bus stop to pick 3 billion. They were detaining a future 3 billion billionaire. When you see your dream, you already know you get that dream. you start feeling like that person. And you are telling them, know me when I'm poor, not when I am rich. You claim relationship. So when you are sure that you will get rich, adversities will inspire you as testimonials for when you get rich. When you are not sure, you might stop or give up. Question number 3.
Henry Harry.
Hmm?
Henry Harry.
Henry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Can people reinvent themselves completely or are they limited? Can people reinvent
Themselves
themselves
completely.
completely or are they limited?
You can reinvent yourself completely. The man talking to you, I am a business guru today. I used to be an academic guru and a medical lab scientist. The only thing I knew how to do in this life was how to pass exam, and I was so good in the laboratory that I was one of the best lab scientists. I didn't know any other thing. But right now, I know business so much that I can teach you the architecture of business. I know marketing so much that I don't think there's anybody in Africa that is as good as me in marketing. So I totally reinvented myself from a lab scientist to a marketing guru because when I was in prison, I had this epiphany that, man, I've been failing. Why am I failing? Please write this down. I told you to write it before. Why are you failing and what have you learned from your failure? And I discovered that I was failing because I was always trusting people, and most of the business I was doing was risky. And I started asking, what's the safest business in the world? And the Holy Spirit took me to an epiphany that what is the security? What's the one business that finances all the businesses in the world? And that's the banking industry. What's the security that the banking industry always requires from you when they want to give you money? Land and houses. And he told me it's not the property that is the security, but the land. Because if a house gets burned down, the land is still valuable. That's why I totally reinvented myself, Henry, from medical lab science to oil, and from oil to real estate. I wasn't the mayor of housing in oil. I was the omni oil of oil when I was in oil. I transited and reinvented myself completely from omni oil to the mayor of housing. And then the next thing I asked myself is that, what's my greatest strength? One of the best ways to do a self-reflection is called a SWOT. Your strength, I've done it in my former video, your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. I discovered my strength was in my mouth. So not just real estate, but in real estate, I am the top marketer in Africa. So I started learning sales and marketing and totally reinvented myself from using my hands to work in the laboratory to using my mouth to work in the marketplace. And that's why I stopped having a handwork and I only have a mouthwork. So I reinvented myself from handwork to mouthwork completely. So Henry, it's not only possible, I am a living witness of complete and total reinvention. Twice, I reinvented from medical lab science to omni oil. When the omni oil got me to prison and it was not working, I reinvented myself from omni oil to the mayor of housing. And I have friends and witnesses that still see me as omni oil. I have clients and patients that still see me as a lab scientist, but they don't know that I'm now the mayor of housing. So you can become anything you want to be any day you decide to be. Your identity is not cast on stone. It is a choice you choose. Just like Jim Rohn says, you choose how to grow. You also choose what to be. If you wake up today that you want to be a nurse, if you have the tenacity to go and start over in nursing school, you might not only be a nurse, but be the best nurse that nursing has ever seen. Question number 4.
Gift.
Gift.
Gift, look at.
Yeah.
How can I start over again making mistake? That seems unforgivable. Cute, always discouraged. What is the way out?
Yes. Look at, what did you call him?
Gift.
Gift. There is no mistake in the world that is unforgivable. That's a wrong gospel. I don't know who preached that to you. The greater the mistake, the greater your comeback when you come back. In the history of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, there are 4 women that were mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus Christ. It's only men that are mentioned. But they mentioned 4 women. Number 1, Uriah, the wife of Uriah, Bathsheba, Uriah's wife, that David committed adultery with her and killed her husband and committed an unforgivable sin with her gift. When God wanted to raise the next king, he raised it from her. Solomon is her son. The next person is a harlot that was living in the city wall of Jericho. She was a harlot, a confirmed harlot, a shawo. But she saved the spies of Israel that Rahab, who was a Jericho Gentile, became an Israelite, and she became the grandmother of Boaz, that is the grandfather of David. And she was mentioned in that genealogy. Then they mentioned Ruth and Tamar. Ruth lost her husband, lost her father-in-law. She's a Moabite, she's not an Israelite. But she followed her mother-in-law, Naomi, and said, I'll never leave you. Your people will be my people. Her loyalty was paid by her being in the genealogy of Jesus Christ. And then the last woman that was mentioned is, of course, our blessed mother, Mary. The woman that was ridiculed for having pregnancy without a man. I'm telling people I'm still a virgin. Man never touched me. They say, get away. How you take carry belly? Or she gave birth to the Savior of the world. So there's no sin unforgivable. The bigger the sin, the bigger your accord and applaud when you succeed. So there is no sin. The bigger the sin, the more the grit. Please write it down. Every adversity and every sin in the world has 2 options: guilt or grit. Grit means grit, courage, and perseverance to go on. And there are 2 kinds of pain of sin. There's what they call godly remorse. Godly remorse leads to repentance. But there's what they call worldly sorrow, which is guilt. Worldly sorrow leads to death. That's what the Bible says. So when you sin, you are not to be guilty with worldly sorrow. You are to be hopeful with godly resolve. That's why the prodigal son say, I shall arise and go back to my father. That I shall arise is resolve and godly sorrow. Question number 5. Faith Stephen, yes?
Since the bridge between failure and success is learning, what practical steps can someone take to make sure they actually learn and don't keep repeating the same mistakes?
The only practical step is introspection, ask yourself. Please, what's her name?
Faith Stephen.
Faith Stephen, the practical step is bring your pen like this. Bring this paper like this. I've said it 3 times here. Write. What did I learn from this failure? Oh yeah, do it. That's the practical step. You don't do the practical, I mean, still they do theory. What did I learn from this failure? Question number 1. Question number 2, Faith Stephen. How do I prevent this kind of failure again? Question number 3. How can I start now? So that's the practicals. Nah, have you set exam? No. I didn't even know. I thought we were doing live stream. I didn't know we were doing practical Faith Stephen practical exams. Right. What did I learn from this failure? 2. How will I prevent myself from failing again or repeating those things I've learned? Number 3. How do I start immediately? That's why it's called a mistake. Why did I miss it? What am I taking from it? Mistake. How do I use this thing I take for me not to miss it again? Simple something. We make Confucius say life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Please, if you are repeating the same mistakes, what's his name? Albert Einstein called it madness, is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Question number 6. Abeg, don't be mad. Question number 6.
Tessie, Ubi,
Tessie Obi, yeah?
what's one thing you are holding on to that's preventing you from truly starting over, and how can you let it go?
Guilt. Question number 7. Guilt. Just write it down. Tessie Obi, write guilt. If you don't know the spelling, let me spell it for you. Guilt. Guilt. Question number 7. Some of these questions shows that these people didn't listen to what I was saying. Guilt or grit. Guilt or grit. If you hold on to guilt, you will not start over. If you hold on to grit, you will start over. Simple lesson. Maybe I know Sabi teach again. No? Question number 7.
Listen, Kuti.
Blessing Kuti.
Is it possible to
QTI, K-U-T-I.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Na fella pikin. Oya na.
Is it possible to start over and over again yet no improvement?
No. It is possible for a fool. It's not possible for Blessing Kuti. Only a fool will repeat the same mistake. Not even a fool, a madman. I just said it now. Albert Einstein said, insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Any improvement without, any repetition without refinement or improvement is not only foolish, but it's madness. Repetition is the mother of all skills. Everything in this world requires repetition. Let me give you an example. Michael Phelps, that won the highest Olympic gold by any one individual in the history of Olympic. The first Olympic he came for, I think he won 15 gold or something in swimming. He was repeating swimming exercise and practice every day for 12 years. Every day. But he wasn't repeating the same thing. He was improving gradually. Brian Tracy in his book Goals says if you can improve 1% every day, you would have improved 365% in a year. So improvement is what repetition does, not the same. If you are repeating and remaining the same, how about now? Who in this world will do 1 press up today, do 1 press up today, tomorrow, and in the next 1 week cannot do 2 press up? In the next another 1 week cannot do 3. In the next another one cannot do 4. The next another one cannot do 5. Before you know it, he's doing 100 press ups. Which school? Who asked that question? Blessing Kuti. Is it possible for any child to be in primary 1 for 7 years without improvement? Has that ever occurred in our educational system? Say this pikin dull, so he repeat primary 1, he carry 40 over 40. The next set come, he carry 40 over 40. Now he be last for class. Has any child carried last 7 years in 1 class? It's not possible. Highest I've seen children repeat a class is twice. If they fail and repeat the first time, by the second time, they have passed. So it's only a madman that will do that. Question number 8.
Ruth,
Yes?
if mistakes are truly assets, how can we practically train ourselves to recognize and extract the lesson quickly instead of wasting years in regret?
Quickly is that once you fail, lock the door. Root. Go to the root of the matter. Immediately you fail. Don't be crying and looking for pity and telling people, see, now I fail. You don't even tell me sorry. That means you are not serious. Root. You must go to the root of the matter immediately you fail. Lock yourself in the room. Get a pen and paper. Cry. Get handkerchief if you like crying. Cry. Then pray. After praying, you ask the Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, help me. Where did I miss it? And you start meditating. Why so many of us don't accept mistakes early is that we are afraid of our company. If you are not afraid of being with yourself, you will never have introspection. And introspection is the beginning of self-change. When we talked about, I've forgotten the topic we handled the last time, I told you, if you don't look inside, you can't find yourself. And if you are never comfortable being with yourself and asking yourself question, China, why you fuck up? China, what's your strength? China, why did you make this mistake? If you don't do it quickly, learn quickly and move on, you'll be busy telling people, I lose all my money, help me now. It's where you are doing, I lose all my money, help me, you don't tell me sorry. That you remain in the pit, because if you seek pity, you remain in the pit. But if you come up and go to the root of the matter and introspect, you get the answers you seek. And you come out with eureka resolve to start all over again, joyfully and more intelligently. Question number 9.
Number 9, let me go to Facebook.
Question number 9, we have to take 9 and 10 from Facebook. Are we even live on Facebook?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How come we're only 76 people live? Are you sure we are live on Facebook?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just choose anybody you like.
Emanuela.
Who?
Emanuela.
Emanuela who?
Echo.
What is she doing on Facebook?
What does it truly mean to start over? Is it about changing our circumstances, your mindset, or both?
It's about changing your plan, Emanuela. There's no plan B. There's only a better plan A. That is called plan B. My dream and my plan and my destination has always been financial freedom. When I failed trying to combine medical lab science and side business, I failed. I resigned to go and do the side business fully as oil business. I failed. I decided to start real estate with a company that is a third party. I failed. And I started to start real estate for myself. And I'm succeeding. So refinement of plan A is starting over again. So please don't ask academic questions, Emanuela Ekong. Ask practical questions. The practical question is starting over, is doing it again more intelligently. Intelligently. Intelligence has no limit. Whether it's your circumstances you change, whether it's your location you change, whether it's your name you change, whether it's your parents you change, anything you change that is more intelligent that will help you to get to where you are going, that you failed to get, by learning the lessons of your failure and applying the wisdom of the lesson to try again more intelligently. That's starting over, Emanuela Ekong. And you guys must not turn this our live stream to an academic exercise. I need more practical questions, and I'm hoping this last number 10 will be practical. Question number 10, please.
Chidebere Blessing.
Chidebere Blessing, yes?
What are the distractions to avoid when I decide to start over?
When you decide to start over, very beautiful question. The distractions you need to avoid is number 1, people calling you a failure. Anybody that calls you a failure when you start over is talking about yesterday. And there's something the Bible talks about in Isaiah 43, 18 and 19. It says, forget ye the former things, for I'll do a new thing. When you start a new thing, people will be reminding you of the former things. Say, no be you sell land for us that time for that company when they no gree build. No be you when do this thing. No be you when even born for house, you never marry. Now they tell us, say, you want to start over. So people will remind you of your failure. They will ridicule you. They will call you names. They are calling the former person. They don't know the new person yet until you produce the new result. The second most important distraction is you dwelling on your past. If you go to Philippians 3:13, even though this is not a Bible class, Paul said, this one thing I do, forgetting the things that are behind and pressing on to the things that are in front. Paul, when he was Saul, killed a lot of Christians that Even when where he was preaching, some of those Christians are widows that he killed their husband. But he stood in front of them and said, I have wronged no man, because he killed their husband as Saul. But now that he's Paul, he has not touched anybody. So Chidebere blessing, when you start over, the old failure might have fucked up, might not know how to talk, might not know how to save money. But this new guy is saving. This new guy is training his mouth. This new guy is training his attitude. People will call you the old guy. You would think you are the old guy. But if you don't abandon that old guy, bury him with the past, and move on with this new guy, you will distract yourself. And the greatest distraction is groaning or complaining about that failure. My dear Chidebere blessing, if you miss something and get golden lessons from it, it's an asset, and rich people don't complain about assets. We use it to make money. And that's why you don't see me coming here saying, Nigeria is bad. Do you know, just for owing somebody, Nigeria sent me to prison. Nigeria, this one. I don't complain because I learned golden lessons. It was in prison detention that I got the golden epiphany of this beautiful real estate dream that all of you are admiring today. And that's why I'm so unstoppable, because it was birthed in the pain and darkness of prison. And if prison could not stop me from coming out to start this dream, nothing on earth can stop me. So if you see the past as punishment instead of polishment, you distract yourself in each time you remember, hey, he broke my heart. I failed. When you remember it, you'll be like, wow, I'm so glad I failed, because that guy that broke my heart actually taught me that character is more important than love. And that's why I'm working on my character now. So, man, when I remember, you even call the guy and say, thank you for leaving me. It taught me a lesson. And in conclusion, Chidebere blessing. I had a principal in secondary school. Because I was a noisemaker, he always flogged me. I was almost expelled from that secondary school. And I came out and flogged him immediately I came out. I flogged my principal by making 9 A's in SSC that year. And I was so happy this year when my principal contacted me and told me he needed some repairs in his house. And I'm flogging him again because I sent my friend to go and check the repairs. And I'm going to sponsor that repair to flog my principal again. So the only way for you not to get distracted, Chidebere blessing, is to produce enough success that will shut up all those distractions of people that will be calling you a failure, the distraction of your past that will be trying to trail you. And guess what? It is what you die as that is your identity, not what you tried as in the past. He was tried as Saul in the past. He killed a lot of Christians, but he died as Paul, one of the greatest apostles that have ever lived. And the highest proportion of the Bible was written by him. People don't remember Saul. They remember Paul. So Chidebere, don't allow your past Saul to distract you from your present Paul. Because people might not see Paul yet. Don't allow their calling Paul Saul to distract you. Please, let's take the next topic. All those people that have asked questions, get their names and screen their shots. We'll pay them 30,000 naira. As for this today, we started late because of power failure, and we're very sorry. We're going to take the next topic, and we can start over again next week. Next topic, David Udo. The best investment vehicle as regarding the modern age. Siri, Siri, screenshots. Not you. Oh, that thing has scrolled by. David Udo, type your topic again. Post it again. I say make this one a screenshot for iPad. It is a screenshot for phone.
Regarding this modern age.
Did you screenshot it? You send it to me. So our next topic is David Udo. The best investment vehicle as regarding this modern age. David Udo, you've just made 30,000 naira. Please write his name down. And in closing, I want to say that many of us are too adult to succeed, too unflexible to succeed, too fixated to succeed, too taking ourselves too seriously to succeed. We are too grim, too fixated, and too hard on ourselves to succeed. Success is a failure process of failing and learning from our failure until we stop failing and will be successful. And children teach us that in how they learn to walk. Children teach us that in how they learn to stand. Children teach us that in how they learn to speak. But the tragedy is not that children are teaching it and we are not seeing it. The tragedy is that each and every one of us was once a child that could not even learn how to pronounce the simple word daddy and was calling daddy dada. I was calling mommy mommy. I was calling food, calling rice lies, and all kinds of funny things. And we laughed at it when we were kids. Our parents laughed at it, and we learned from it and improved as proof that the only way to get good at anything is to do it badly initially until we can now do it so well that we can never do it badly. But when we grew up as adults, we're taught that mistakes are bad. We're taught that doing it badly is bad. We're taught that nature does not give us chance to do it badly before we do it well. And we just not only got convinced by those people, but we became our greatest club that we have used to flog ourselves each time we get it wrong. Instead of encouraging ourselves that we're going to get it right again, we beat down ourselves and say we are not good enough. And we not only feel guilty, but we create a thick wall with bars of iron to lock ourselves in a self-imposed prison of guilt and bitterness for trying just once. Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times. He does not have two hearts. He has a heart and a brain. He does not have oil flowing through his veins. He had blood like you and I. And he didn't start with a privileged background. He was so destitute that even in school, they said he had a learning disability and sent him home and told his mother that this child cannot attend school because he's too dumb to attend school. And the mother, instead of telling him, my son, you are too dumb to attend school, she, unlike you tell yourself that you are not good enough, she told her son, you are so good that they sent you back from school because you're a genius, and the teacher said he's not good enough to teach you, that I should teach you from home. And the mother taught him and told him that you can do anything you put your mind to because you're a genius. He was learning disabled, but his mother told him he was learning super learning abled, and he believed it and began to live it and refused for anything in the world to convince him otherwise. He failed one time. The failure could not convince him. He failed 1,000 times. It could not convince him. He failed 10,000 times. It could not convince him that he's not worthy of the world. But how come you, with this kind of example, with this kind of story, will still convince yourself that you are not good enough after you have tried just once or just twice or just 3 times? One mistake you made in 1960, you are still holding on to it and killing yourself and letting your life go away. Instead of you to take it as a stepping stone, you have taken it as a tombstone to bury yourself in the tomb of regret and guilt. Starting over is not more of a technical thing or a knowledge thing, for we all know that if we start over more intelligently, we'll make it. Starting over is more an emotional thing, and we are all killing ourselves, guilting ourselves away, regretting ourselves away, and punishing ourselves with the tombstone of a mistake that we made ages ago, not knowing that that same tombstone can be a stepping stone for you to rise to the top. Stop fooling yourself that anybody will come in that cave and save you. Push that tombstone down, step on it, and use it as a stepping stone to get to the top. And nothing on earth can convince me that I'm not good enough. If anything can convince you that you are not good enough, then you are not good enough. But if nothing can convince you, step on that stone and I'll see you at the top.
Programming for a special report that's rapidly gaining national and global attention. A new voice is rising, shifting minds, shaping destinies, and selling the soil beneath your future. Analysts describe it as a blazing fusion of truth, transformation, and real estate revolution. My Ace channel is not just content, it's currency. It's a call to rise. This channel is fast becoming a headquarter for the bold, the broken, the builders, and the believers. So tonight, as we go off air, we leave you with one urgent instruction. Subscribe and stay tuned to my Ace channel now. Don't just watch history, own it. This is Alimat Lawal reporting live. Good evening, viewers. We interrupt regular programming for a special report that's rapidly gaining national and global attention. A new voice is rising,